So we got a weird one here, folks. So I had a fragrance that I have tried out about 100 times over the years, and I didn't like it pretty much every time I tried it. I always passed it up, didn't really care about it, and honestly, the designer who makes it, I was never really a big fan of anyway. But over the last like 6 months, it started to change on me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if my nose is just getting better, or if the fragrance is changing, or anything like that. But with that said, I'm going to be talking about Prada's Luna Rossa Ocean, which is a fragrance that I'm actually starting to love, and I bought a full bottle of it. And so without further ado, let's get it. Alright, welcome back to my channel, my good smelling dudes and ladies. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. I can't stop moving right now. I feel like my ADHD is kicking in. But with that said, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting my likes, comment, subscribe button, all that good stuff before we get into the video, I would greatly appreciate it. So again, we're talking about Luna Rossa Ocean. I put this cap on for video purposes. I honestly haven't. I've already used it. It's my scent of the day today. I just wanted to show you that they give you this plastic cap and to keep it because it's good for travel purposes, because the atomizer is very easily hit. And it's also a very potent and powerful atomizer, and you don't want to be choking people out because your bag is leaking Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. So again, I hated this fragrance for quite a long time. I just didn't like it at all. It was dated to me. It just seemed like every other fragrance, and I just never could get into it. So I ended up always passing it up. And then something happened this year, like 4 months ago. I was spraying it on in Ulta, and I was just like, oh, that's good. I like it. I was looking for summer fragrances, and so it caught my attention. One of my friends asked me what fragrances I wanted a few decants of. I got Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, and I went through the whole thing in like a week. And so I decided to go out and buy it. And it's an eau de toilette, a really good fragrance. It's advertised as an aromatic, musky lavender fragrance, although there are a lot of aspects in it that are not listed there. With that said, I'm going to give you the note breakdown first. A really cool bottle, by the way. It has the black, it's hefty. Then it has the Luna Rossa Carbon or Luna Rossa line style bottle. I just like that dark, deep blue. But anyway, I do want to get out of the way though. It's called Ocean, and it's not ocean. It's not watery. It's not sea notes. There's nothing like that in it. Just to get that out of the way. It's one of those like Yopom ice like I talked about the other day. The name just doesn't match up with what's actually inside the bottle. So anyway, the main notes that you get from this fragrance, the top notes are bergamot, pink pepper, and artemisia. The mid notes are lavender, iris, sage, suede, and saffron. And the base notes are musk, patchouli, Haitian vetiver, and caramel, oddly enough. Just an FYI, there's not any kind of hint of caramel in this fragrance. I don't know if that was an error. And I also don't get any saffron, so do not think this is going to smell like Baccarat Rouge 540. When you first spray it on, you get this citrusy aspect from the bergamot. The bergamot's the main note in the opening. You also get a bit of this deepness, heaviness, and some pink pepper in there that gives it some spice. Quickly, though, that citrus starts to dissipate. And it goes... The best way to put it, before I get into when that citrus dissipates, the opening is very similar to like a blue fragrance, like an average blue fragrance. If Prada Luna Rossa was to make a traditional blue fragrance, that's pretty much what it would smell like in the opening. Just a bit citrusy, and that's why I said it smells a bit dated. In the opening, it just smells like Prada Luna Rossa mixed with a little bit of a blue fragrance, like Bleu De Chanel or something. But about 15 minutes into the fragrance, again, pretty quickly, that citrus starts to dissipate, that pink pepper starts to dissipate, which is pretty much the makeup of an average blue fragrance. And you start to get this lavender, and again, it's a lavender heavy fragrance. You get this lavender, a little bit of musk, and a really heavy bit of iris. So it is a Prada fragrance. Prada's known for being a laundry, linens, clean, just clean throughout type fragrance. It's known for just its freshness. And so in the Prada L'HOMME line, as you guys know, that is an iris heavy line, powdery iris. While this does feel like the Prada L'HOMME iris, it does not have that powderiness to it. There's a little bit of it, but for the most part, that lavender, that it's a little bit of a sweet lavender. It kind of dials back that powder that comes from the iris, but you can tell that the iris in this is very similar to the iris from the Prada Luna. When you get to the dry down, you get a little bit of vetiver, a little bit of patchouli, but nothing that's going to overtake it. It's a really heavy musky fragrance in the base, especially, but when you get into the base, that lavender stays there, that iris stays there, that musk stays there, and that's what you're left with. And it's actually really, really good. So to me, it's a blue iris fragrance. The blue part of it though kind of dissipates as the time goes on, and the musk becomes more prominent. It's not animalic or anything like that. I mean, it is a designer musk, so it's just going to be a supporting note there to really emphasize the other notes in the fragrance. But I'm like blathering here. But with that said, this fragrance is really good. It's really good for if you want something a little bit heavier, if you want something that has that iris note in it but doesn't have that powder because you don't like powder. If you want something that's good for daytime or nighttime, hot weather or cold weather, rainy days, spring, summer, fall, Prada Ocean is going to do it for you. I like it best in the spring and summer, but really good. It's just a good fragrance. It's a good versatile fragrance for the warmer months or the transitional periods like spring and fall would be a really good time to wear it. It's crazy that it's called Ocean because it's not an oceanic fragrance or an aquatic fragrance by any means. But honestly, if you're looking for something, again, you have to get past that original 5 to 10 minutes. If you find it to be a little bit dated like I do in the opening, just get past that part when the iris and the lavender really starts to pull through with that musk. It really sweet, really nice. No, it's not actually sweet. It's a bit herbal, it's a bit green, it's a bit citrusy. And then you get that iris coming in to give it that floralness. And I'm not a huge fan of iris in general, as you know, and women usually aren't either, but my wife really, really likes Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. We were between that and Ralph's Club. They both have very similar vibes. This one has a little bit more of that blue facet and the floral facet, and we ended up picking this and then buying the Ralph's Club anyway. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. I get about 6 to 8 hours on this fragrance with above average projection for about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's nothing crazy as far as the projection is concerned. I actually find that the sillage is a bit better than it, than the projection is. But with that said, it's just a really good fragrance in general. It projects nicely, and for the type of fragrance it is, it lasts a decent amount of time. So, Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, this definitely gets about an 8.5 out of 10 for me and a thumbs up. Really good, one that you should add to your collection if you haven't already, or at least give it a test. So, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, hit the bell for future notifications, like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Peace out.